It's been a few days since we recorded and read in Corinthians, but we're in chapter 14. We're at verse 34, or the end of 33. As in all the churches of the saints, the women should be silent in the churches, for they are not permitted to speak, but are to submit themselves, as the law also says. If they want to learn something, let them ask their own husbands at home, since it is disgraceful for a woman to speak in the church. Or did the word of God originate from you, or did it come to you only? So I was looking at this because I know this is a subject that is really confusing. But what I can understand, it was talking when the church gathered for an assembly to discuss something that was very important, like the interpretation of a prophecy or in a business type setting. They said the women should be silent, speak through their husbands, to their husbands at home. It does not mean that a woman should never speak at church. My goodness, that could not be, because some women end up being some of our best workers and helpers in the church. But it was talking about when the church is gathered to take care of serious matters of determining prophecies and taking care of church business, that the women were to remain silent and speak through their husbands at home, and let their husbands be the voice to keep order and to cause less confusion. That's what the word says, and that's what some of those that interpret that word says. Verse 37, if anyone thinks he is a prophet or spiritual, he should recognize that what I write to you is the Lord's command. If anyone ignores this, he will be ignored. So then, my brothers and sisters, be eager to prophesy and do not forbid speaking in other tongues. But everything is to be done decently and in order. That is the most important thing that is said in those scriptures. Things are to be done decently, in order, without confusion. Remember, as we've talked about tongues in earlier verses, we said tongues were given. It's a gift. But to speak to another man, there's no value unless there's an interpreter. So be orderly. God is not a God of confusion. And so that there might be more order, when the churches met then in Corinth to come together to take care of church business, the women were to remain silent and let their husbands do the speaking for them. God bless you. That takes us through chapter 14. It's a short passage, but then we'll begin and get into chapter 15, hopefully next week. Continue to read and pray that God will speak to you.